Alrighty, we are back with another solo episode, and today we're going to do a little website self-audit. If your website has been live for a while and you're not booking as many new clients or website leads as you like, or maybe the leads that are coming in aren't the ones you're loving, there's a good chance that your website is guilty of at least one of these mistakes. The good news is that these mistakes are so common, but also so incredibly fixable once you know what to look for. I've reviewed hundreds of pet business websites over the years since 2017, and the same patterns keep popping up year after year, but things have changed, right? So we want to see these mistakes not exist on pet industry websites. So today I'm going to break down 5 of the biggest booking killers that I see, why they matter, and how you can fix them so that your site can actually bring in new inquiries. That's the goal, right? That's why we want a website. These tips are not about making your site prettier or chasing trends. It's really about making it easier for the right people to find you and to trust you and to ultimately book with you. Welcome, Petpreneur, to the Pet Marketing Unleashed podcast. I'm your host, Michaela Vargas, founder, designer, and educator behind Pet Marketing Unleashed. This podcast is all about growing your pet business without the stress. Here, you'll find episodes packed with actionable tips and advice for streamlining your online presence, avoiding burnout, and onboarding new clients while you're away from your desk or out with the dogs. So pop in those earbuds and learn stress-free marketing and website strategies with me while you head out on your next dog walk, pet sitting visit, drive to your next session, or just wherever your pet business takes you next. Let's dive in. Okay, let's get straight into these. Mistake number 1, vague or missing offers or taglines. So if somebody lands on your homepage, can they immediately understand and know what it is that you do, who you do it for, and where you do it? Too many sites make your visitors guess, make them scroll, make them comb through to see are they in my service area? Do they offer the service that I need? Who do they even work with? And in the online world, guessing means bouncing. It means they're going to leave. It's pretty immediate. So we want to address and answer immediately on your website before they even need to scroll on that main headline banner area, what you do, who you do it for, and where you do it. So an example 2 is if you're just saying, welcome to my site, or perhaps you have your business name on there repeated, or you're just pet care, quality pet care, professional pet care. That sounds nice, but it doesn't say anything about what you actually offer or where. It doesn't give your potential client the answer to, can they do pet care for me, and what kind of pet care, and for what type of animal? You want to be more specific. So the fix for this is to update your homepage header and subheader to clearly state your services, your service area, and your ideal client, or your specialty or your niche. So if you work with small dogs, or you specialize in midday dog walking, or you work with separation anxiety dogs, whatever it is, you want to be very clear of who you're speaking to. You want to speak to your ideal client, and 100% of the time, you want to include your service area in that area so people know whether they can even work with you. All right, mistake number 2, there's a weak call to action, or there's not even really a call to action on your website. You cannot assume that people will know the next step of your website. You can't just put up your phone number and hope for the best, right? Your book now or contact us button shouldn't be hiding in the footer or buried in a paragraph. It shouldn't only be on a contact page, the menu. You need to have action-oriented verbs that tell people what they need to do next on your website. So whether you are directing them to your services page, so if you're on the homepage and you want them to check out your services, or you want them to check out the new clients page to learn about your process, whatever the call to action is, it needs to be very clear. It needs to be bold. It needs to be easy to see. It needs to be action-oriented, so using those verbs, and it needs to be succinct. You want to make sure that this is also on every single page of your website and not just once. Particularly on pages like your homepage, you want to have a call to action above the fold, again, before they're scrolling. You want to have it somewhere mid-tier on the page, and you want to have it as the final strip or banner, whatever your website platform called it. In Wix, they call it a section or a strip. You want to make sure that last one there is that final call to action of what action they can take after completing that page of your website. Right? It's all a journey. It's all a flow. So after they complete whatever page it is of your website, which page should they go to next? What action should they take next? You put that as a button on your website and you repeat it strategically in places where visitors are most likely to say yes. And you want to avoid, and not necessarily 100%, but I, in most cases, recommend avoiding very vague buttons like learn more. We want to use language that communicates action and the benefit, or perhaps just lets them know what to expect if they click on it, right? We don't want any like clickbait where like you're just sending people to like, this is going to be awesome. And like they click on it and it's like, well, this is just a contact page, right? We want to be very specific of like, okay, here's what is going to happen when you click this button. Let's get very specific. So it can be something like book your meet and greet or get my quote or walk my dog, whatever it is. We want to make sure that we have those call to actions very clearly and easily seen throughout your entire website so that people know what action to take and you don't have to make them guessing for what they need to be doing next on your website. Because again, that's going to be a mistake that will immediately lead them to leave your website. All right, mistake number 3, slow site speed. This one is a big one, and I feel like a lot of people don't take this one seriously. So we definitely need to address that. People are so impatient online. I feel like there's like a theme in this episode. Like people are so impatient. You got to make it so easy for them. You got to state clearly who you are and who you work with and where you're located, right? You got to clearly state, this is the button to click. This is what to do next. For mistake number 3, when it comes to site speed, if your site is super slow, they're going to leave too. Like we have to make it super seamless for them to experience your brand online. People are so impatient. And if your site is taking more than like 2 to 3 seconds to load, you are going to lose visitors before they even see what it is that you do and if you're a good fit. So some of the biggest things to look at when it comes to your slow site speed that could help you increase that would be very large and uncompressed images. So every time you upload an image to your website, you want to make sure that it's compressed first so it's not a super large file size because that can take a lot of space and room and data on your website. Now, certain platforms, like I know Wix does this too, they will automatically compress photos, but you can still compress it more than they can even do, if that makes sense. So you can use free websites. The one that I use most often is called compressor.io, and I'll link it in the show notes. But essentially, you would just upload your photos to that software online. You don't have to download anything. It's completely free. There's a paid version, but you really don't need it. So you just do 10 or I think maybe up to 20 photos at a time. There's a certain amount of space. So you just upload your photos to that and then hit download, and it'll compress your image and give you a smaller file size of those images that you can then upload into your website platform, and it'll take up less space on your site, which is awesome. So that's definitely the first thing I recommend doing. And even if you are experiencing this now for website photos that are already on your website, you can just re-upload them with them being compressed, and that can save a lot of your site speed issues. The next is too many apps or plugins. This is particularly an issue with platforms like WordPress when you have expired plugins or plugins that are just taking up a whole bunch of space on your website. So keep that in mind. Keep track of what sort of apps or plugins that you have. Make sure they're active. Make sure that you don't have any that you're just not even using. You can delete those. That can definitely weigh down your site as well. Autoplay videos or sliders. So that's something, it depends on your platform, what capabilities you have. But on Wix, if your video is more than 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute, depending on the video, I recommend actually uploading that video to something else like Vimeo or YouTube, and then you can just embed it on your website. So the data is being held on that third party. So it's being held on Vimeo or Loom or YouTube, but you can still look very seamless on your website. So it's not like super advertising YouTube or anything like that. But rather than actually uploading the video to your website, because that can take up a lot of space on your website. I also recommend limiting animation or large video files. So again, we kind of just talked about videos, but with this one, I'm more so talking about those background videos of, say, you walking a dog, or even it's a stock video of somebody walking a dog or a dog smiling and moving around. It's like in slow-mo. So any sort of like animation on your website. So this will also be like, as you scroll the website, you'll see text like slowly appear, or perhaps like a box gets dragged into your website. We actually use that quite frequently on our client sites with Pet Marketing Unleashed, but we're very mindful of whether this is impacting site speed. So we had one recently actually where we noticed that it was impacting site speed. So we took out a lot of the ones that we didn't really need, so that only the animations remaining were the ones that really enhanced the experience and really made sense to have animated. These are a lot of like little things that you can do to work with your site speed. So you want to make sure that you are compressing your images on your website. You are not using too many apps or plugins, or deleting ones that are not being used, or making sure that you don't have any expired ones. You want to make sure that your videos are embedded, especially for longer videos of testimonials or things like that, so that you're not using that to weigh down your site. You want to make sure you're removing anything that you're not needing for your website, any sort of widgets or apps or anything like that. You want to make sure that your site is very consolidated with what you're actually uploading into your site. And you want to limit that animation or those large video files that you're using as backgrounds as well. All right, mistake number 4, a lack of trust building elements. So, I can just pose a simple question. Would you hire somebody if you don't even know like what they look like and who they are and what's their background and all of that stuff, especially when you think about trusting somebody with your pet, right? Whether it's dog training or pet care, you need to know who that person is. You need to know that you can trust them. You need to know their expertise. You need to know that they have helped other people in similar situations. And that comes into play on your website via testimonials and reviews, through badges and certifications, to photos of you, your team, and case studies or client spotlights. Like there's so much that you can do here. So my 2 biggest tips for this, because I think people know to put testimonials on their website. My 2 biggest tips, number 1, get rid of your testimonials page, get rid of your reviews page. Add your testimonials organically throughout your website where it makes sense. So if you're talking about separation anxiety training, put testimonials about separation anxiety training on that service page. Put your testimonials about puppy training on the puppy training page. Put your testimonial about dog walking, regular dog walking, and how it helped that person's dog. That testimonial, put it on your dog walking service area of the page. You need to put your testimonials where it makes the most sense so that when people are scanning your website, they're seeing dogs and cats and whatever other pets in the exact situation that they, that transformation of where they started to where they ended up after working with you, so that it feels more organic and they can start to build that trust and see themselves in that story. The other biggest tip I have for you when it comes to trust is putting a picture of your face on your website and not hidden behind glasses or hats or behind another dog. You can have your animal in the photo, but make sure that we can actually see you, that you're looking into the camera. Having that eye contact directly looking into the screen can build so much trust subconsciously. So make sure that you're actually having pictures of, it's not just stock photos on your website. We want a picture of you at least at a minimum on your about page, but I highly recommend having pictures of you and or your team actually performing the services that you provide so people can see it in action and want to be a part of it. Okay, mistake number 5, this is the final mistake for you, is just a messy or overwhelming navigation. Again, this goes back to that same theme of the other mistakes. I guess maybe not mistake number 4 when it comes to trust, but the other mistakes is if visitors can't find what they need in 1 to 2 clicks, they're going to be gone. So we really want to be clear and focused about what we want to include in your main menu navigation. We don't want too many things in there. We only want important things. And that's, again, while it goes down to, like I already talked about, we don't need a testimonials page on your main menu. We also don't need a gallery page on your main menu. This is precious real estate, and we only want important pages that get purchase decisions made. So we need to know about you. We need to know your services. We need to know any sort of FAQ or new client info, anything that they need to know before making a purchase decision, and then how to contact. So keep your main menu to 5 to 6 items. I would never go over that. Even for a larger site, you can have drop downs, right? So if you have a services main page, and then you have a drop down of dog walking, pet sitting, pet wedding attendant, you can have that drop down. But as far as what you see before anybody clicks on anything, it just needs to be very clean so people know how to navigate. They know how to expect everything on your site. And this also works from an SEO perspective as well. Google can read what's in your menu and they want to know that you have an about page, right? Because every website needs an about page. If you don't have an about page, that's weird, right? Because I think that's something that we try to get so unique in our language and what we do. So sometimes people will rename their about page to I don't know, something unique of meet the fun walkers or I don't know. You want to be so clear, and people have certain expectations when going to a website, and it needs to follow those expectations. So while you can get creative in other ways, the menu should be very straightforward and very clear so that people know what to expect and they can easily navigate your website. So again, keep that main menu to 5 to 6 items. Use very clear labels. Make sure that all links actually work. So you want to think about the path that you want the client to take and make that path obvious. We only want the most important pages on that menu. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. We went through some very specific things for you guys to update on your website. So I hope this was really practical and actionable for you guys to go in and make these adjustments. To recap all of these really quickly so that you know what to do when it comes to your action items is number 1, we do not want a vague or missing headline banner. We want to be very clear about what we do, who we do it for, and where we're located immediately on your website before anyone has to scroll. Number 2, we don't want weak or no call to actions on your website. So make sure you have call to actions at every point across your website, clear, bold, easy to see, and action oriented so they know what to do next on your site. 3, we do not want slow site speed. So compress those images, remove any unnecessary videos or plugins or apps or widgets, and limit your animations on your website so that you can increase that site speed. That's super crucial, not only for user experience, but also SEO. Number 4, the lack of trust building elements. You got to get your face on your website. We have to see who you look like and who you are and what you're about so that we can build trust with you. Photos of your team, photos of you performing the actual services that you offer, and then also including testimonials organically and purposefully and intentionally throughout your website on the services pages and where you're actually explaining those services so people can really see themselves in the experience and can know what they can expect from their situation where they're at now and where they could be from working with you. And number 5, clean up that messy navigation. We only want 5 to 6 menu items in there of really, really only important things on there. So get rid of that testimonial page, get rid of the gallery page. Only keep the most important real estate on your menu. If you resonate with any of these things that we just talked about, just start with one fix at a time. It all adds up. And honestly, a lot of these things are pretty quick fixes that you can take on your website. But if you decide that you want to avoid all of these altogether on your current site, you're like, this is ridiculous. I just want something that works and it's ready and it's good to go. You can skip the trial and error and start with a site that's already built to avoid all of these mistakes. So if you are interested in something like that, I highly encourage you to check out our Pet Business website templates. You do not need to work with us one-on-one to have an incredible website. Our Wix templates are so strategic with the same overall strategy that we put into client work. They're super strategic, they're fully customizable, and they come with an accompanying course that walks you through how to do it every step of the way, from onboarding strategy and copywriting to SEO and integrating your booking software and call schedulers. It has everything that you need to launch a website that really works for your business and one that you'll be really proud of and know is very strategically built. And I'll link all of this for you in the show notes as well. But essentially, to wrap up, your website is working 24/7. Whether it's bringing in clients or it's leading them to your competitor. Like, that's so crucial. It's literally working for you 24/7. So it's either working for you or it's leading them to somebody else, and that's not good, right? And we don't even know when that happens because we're not seeing that. So at its best, I am a firm believer that your website should be your hardest working team member. One that doesn't need vacation, by the way, or coffee breaks. So just keep that in mind. You do not have to overhaul everything at once unless that's what you feel is best for your business. Start with one of these fixes, implement it this week, and start noticing if it impacts any inquiries. Small, consistent improvements compound over time, especially with your website. Just think about it. Like, we're talking about your website, and some people are like, oh my gosh, here she is talking about websites again. But think about every other marketing touch point that you have. So Instagram. Well, with your Instagram, where are you really leading them? Well, to your website, right? You're like, hey, come book with us. It's on our website. If you have a yard sign and you have a QR code that leads to your website, if you have a flyer, it leads to your website. If someone refers to you, where do you think that they're pointing them? Like, oh, well, this is the name of the business. Google them. So everything leads back to your website. So your website better be working. Like, it has to be working. It's literally the home base of everything else that you do with your marketing. And it helps everything of your marketing, all this time and money that you put into your marketing, work better when your website can work for you. And I'm here to help you make your website the reason that your inbox is full of new client requests. You've got this, Petpreneur. I know it. Until the next episode, I am sending lots of support and encouragement for you and your pet business. You've got this. Thanks for listening all the way to the end. I appreciate you being here. And if you enjoyed this episode, which I think you did because you're still here with me, then I want to invite you to check out our website templates over at petmarketingunleashed.com/shop. As a podcast listener, I know you're serious about taking your pet business to the next level, and your website is a crucial piece to making that happen. After all, your website is more than a digital business card. It's your virtual assistant, your marketing person, your booking manager, and it should be working for you around the clock, bringing in clients, saving you time, and growing your business. Our Pet Marketing Unleashed website templates are not just pretty. They're also strategically designed for your type of business, built with search rankings in mind, and are truly easy to customize so you can launch a successful website and streamline your operations. You'll also get access to our signature course that shows you how to write website copy like a pro, do foundational SEO, and set up your tech. So with a few clicks to customize, you have absolutely everything you need for a website that stands out from the pack. And as a thank you for being a loyal podcast listener, you can use the code PMU Podcast at checkout to get 10% off your website template. Again, that's PMU Podcast for 10% off your template. If you're ready to elevate your website and make it work as hard as you do, head over to petmarketingunleashed.com/shop and explore all our templates. Also, if you love this episode, sharing it with a fellow preppreneur or leaving a review and rating is a great way to support this podcast and keep it running. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll be back soon with a new episode.